And welcome to the very first episode of Pop Snap Zap. I'm your host Sehan, and this is your tiny little cute host Zaza. Here we'll be talking anything and everything related to mountain sports, adventure sports, and extreme sports. We have two special guests with us, Aaron Karpuri and Titus Mark. Aaron Karpuri is the national champion of India, and Titus Mark is the fourth ranking mountain biker, or enduro mountain biker I should say, in the Asian series. Why don't you let our audience know what is it that you do exactly?
It's a gravity-oriented sport, I would say. First-hand experience, how was it for you?
See, I'm a downhill person too. I don't mountain bike, I snowboard. So I like the thrill of going downhill. But it's definitely if anybody's thinking about trying mountain sport, I would say you definitely got to try some version of downhill sport to get the thrill. If you had to describe yourself, choose any three words, Aaron. How would you describe yourself? Or let's switch this up. Why don't you use three words to describe Aaron?
Fuck, that's hard. Maybe he can go with one word. People just call him back at home bull.
Bull?
Yeah.
You see yourself as a bull?
Since I was in class 7, even some of my friends like, oh, that's why they call you bull. The way you ride, doesn't even care. You just go smashing what.
So I know this is a dangerous sport, all gravity sports are dangerous sports. So what was the craziest story or craziest injury you've had?
I don't know, should I tell it in front here? I don't know if my parents will see it, but I've never told my parents about, So there's this new fresh trail which I've made. So it had a right turn and a left turn and a right turn. So when I was in that second bank, I clipped my pedal on the right side. The bike was behind me and it threw me in front. I went, but where I landed was, I say I'm still lucky till this day. There was a stump, half stump, roughly cut. It was pointing this way. So if I had missed it by 5 centimeter, it would have gone straight here. But that was my worst, I would say.
What's up, adventurers, and welcome to the very first episode of Pop Snap Zap. I'm your host Sehan, and this is your tiny little cute host Zaza.
Zaza.
Here we'll be talking anything and everything related to mountain sports, adventure sports, and extreme sports. And for the very first episode, we have two special guests with us, Aaron Karpuri and Titus Mark, legends in the field of downhill mountain biking and enduro mountain biking in India. Aaron Karpuri is the national champion of India, and Titus Mark is very close by a few milliseconds the runner-up in India, and also the fourth ranking mountain biker, or enduro mountain biker I should say, in the Asian series. So I welcome the both of you.
Good to be here.
I'd like to say, if you had to describe yourself, choose any three words, Aaron. How would you describe yourself? Just three words.
It's how do it?
Three words, let's say, are you calm? Are you calculated? Are you excited? Or let's switch this up. Why don't you use three words to describe Aaron?
No, that's harder, I think.
No,
I can describe myself better.
No, you describe yourself then first.
You guys have been riding together for 5 years now. So I would say it's only fair.
Yeah, kind of, but I think only oneself can describe. I mean, to switch it up will be fun, but I don't know. Nothing much is coming right now.
After 5 years of together, he doesn't think of you as much, does he?
we just ride. We call each other, hey, go for it. Okay, chalo.
No, I think it's very hard to put it in three words, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you describe yourself?
Fuck, that's hard. Yeah, but...
it's like an exercise in school, right? Your teachers today you have to describe yourself.
Yeah, I don't do well in this. That part of the question.
There's a reason we're in mountain biking.
Yeah. I don't know, just calm. Calm, fast, I think. When I'm on the bike,
I think you're super calm and calculated.
Yeah, I think.
Sometimes cold.
Yeah, that can be the line, I think.
What about you, Aaron? Can you describe yourself?
Maybe he can go with one word. People just call him back at home bull.
Bull?
Yeah.
You see yourself as a bull?
That's what, I don't know what's wrong. Since I was in class 7, they called me with that name. Till date.
The bull?
Bull.
Were you an aggressive thing? You were charging at people?
Yeah, even these guys even some of my friends oh, that's why they call you bull. The way you ride, doesn't even care. You just go smashing what.
Yeah, he's known to go through.
Yeah, when I reached
almost everything.
the moment there's one time I went to Mizoram for the first time, and I don't even know anyone there. I only know one person, Miller. So the moment I reached there, they're like, "Hey, are you Aaron?" I was like, "Hey, I heard that you're bulldozer." I was like, "What?" There was only stories also about me
Your
there. So
nickname is like famous across the globe.
yeah, so they were like, "We kept a tree for you to bulldoze that." I was like, "Okay."
Right.
So, I feel like since this is the very first podcast, a lot of people really don't know what mountain biking is about. So, why don't you let our audience know what is it that you do exactly?
Well, it's a gravity-oriented sport, I would say. So you push or either get yourself up to the top of the hill, and you basically ride down a mountain or a hill, whatever. So that's mountain biking in general, but there's more to it. Like, I cannot define the thrill, the whatever the sport offers to it, unless you are behind a bar on a bicycle. So I would say those who are new to, or those who don't know mountain biking is, I would say just get yourself a bicycle, take it to the, any walking trail. That's as simple as it gets.
That reminds me when you took me mountain biking for the first time. And you're like, let's go to any trail. You took me to like the most difficult trail there was, and I went like flying over the bar.
You did
But one thing, but he also had a very confident. He was very
Yeah.
confident. So we were in this one steep section. He said, "This does not look steep at all."
Huh?
Yeah. So he went down.
Did you need to the e-bike from me?
So he went down that hill.
I don't know about that.
But there was a log there, and I told him not to tap the front
Okay.
brake too much, and he went over the hill.
You
I mean, over the bar.
I mean, you told me there's like a small drop, and I'm like, okay, it's a small drop. And then I go there, and I was like, oh shit, that's a huge drop. And I hit the brake hard, and I go flying.
The
over
trail
the
he was
bar.
riding the GT or the e-bike?
The GT, man.
Oh, okay.
No, e-bike I would have gone. Like,
The brakes wasn't working properly. Yeah, how did you do the e-bike on the trail?
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it went well.
So-
but I think you can be the first person to ever. I mean, first-hand experience. How was it for you?
I mean, I'm a downhill person too. I don't mountain bike, I snowboard. So I like the thrill of like going downhill.
Yeah.
So I like the speed, and I'm used to high speeds with the snowboard.
Yeah.
So I guess the speed was not scary, but it was still just all of a sudden just dropping down.
Yeah. Dodging
Like, it
trees.
was a very different feeling. But it's definitely like if anybody's thinking about trying mountain sports, I would say you definitely got to try some version of a downhill sport to get the thrill and experience. So, like, just to clarify, like, how would you differentiate between typical road cycling?
Well, first form of cycling is through road only. It somehow evolved from there, but it's if you compare it as sports, it's two different sports. Like maybe the only common thing we have is the bicycle, but it's two completely different sport and terrain and whatever is involved, like the risks or the skills required. It's totally different thing. They require more endurance. We require more skills. But people, it's hard to explain to a new person, and they don't know about the background and how it came to be. But the only common thing we have is the bicycle. But it's a completely two different sports, I would say.
So then, how did this sport come to be in India?
Well, I'm a very newcomer to this sport. I only found out about it when I was in second year college. That's 2008 now. We could say 18 winter. That's when I found out mountain biking existed or downhill existed. And one day I just, one of my cousins called me for a ride in the, to go to a trail and just mountain bike there. But I didn't even know what mountain bike was. So I just decided to go, and I was blown away, after seeing them, it looked so cool. And after I rode it, it was much better. And I think it just started from there. But I would say I knew about the sport pretty late.
Yeah.
Late as in how old were you?
I think I was already 20 years.
You? When did you start?
I started cycling when I was 5-6 years old. But
Cycling or mountain biking?
Mountain biking is different.
Cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Just like normal cycling. I don't even know anything. I'm just a random cyclist around the locality who cycles after school every day. I won't miss that. Either playing football or cycling. So even me, I knew later this about mountain biking. How I got into mountain biking, I don't know, but it's I love to explore, like going to nature and all, hiking, trekking. So I used to go with my bicycle, my normal cycle, those Hero cheap base cycle. So I used to explore. So I got the adrenaline in off road. So later I saw videos and all from TVs and all. Oh, there's something with cycles. What are you doing? Then later, my dad took me to this one shop, bicycle shops, and because I love cycles so much, so he just took me there. But then, just like that, just to see about bikes. Then later, I wanted those bikes. Google, and then when I got the bike, started riding. I met riders around. I know, like, you're from social media. I was like, oh, they're from Shillong. They're doing this. What outside they're doing. So yeah, that's how I got introduced into mountain biking. I tried contacting them and tried to join them, and then I'm very happy. They're very nice and very welcoming. To any rider we can always join them, and any rider till now also they can always join us. So that's how we started.
So you've been like always into bikes?
Yeah, anything. Bikes, motorsports, anything. I just love being on a steering wheel or a handlebar.
You're like 21 now, right? Your birthday was a few days ago.
Yeah, what's the date today?
What?
12th Jan?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 12 days
12
ago.
days, 12 days fresh into
Yeah,
21.
my birthday is the last day of the year.
So, I was thinking about something, Titus.
Yeah.
So, since you got into the sport later, like,
Yeah.
did that affect your growth and development in the sport? Like, was it much harder to, like, were you playing catch up the entire time to everybody else?
When I started, I didn't take it as a sport. It's just a fun thing, Go ride in the weekend. Whole week you're in the college and all that stuff, busy life. Then weekend you just go out, ride bikes. That's how I started as well. Just riding bikes, from weekends to, going to my very first race. I never got my mountain bike until 2021. So I've been on a borrowed bike for like 2 years. 2019, I was on my friend's mountain bike, and I see a lot of people there, like who started very young, and also who are much older than I am. Well, at that point of time, the age didn't really come in. Like, I didn't care about how old I am, how young I am, how old the others are or is. But later in life, as I progressed in this sport, I think this happens to almost every athlete. It always comes to your mind, like, what if I started younger? So that came to me, I think, when I turned 23. Right now I'm 26. That question came to me when I turned 23 and 24, something like that. If I had started this maybe much younger, maybe I could be somewhere else, kind of thing. But right now I don't mind it anymore, because I've seen a guy like Mate, who's from Europe, and he's fucking 35 years plus and sending it. And last year's season, he ranked 19, which is really impressive. And that gave me another reason to not look at age anymore. I think there's never a right age to start any sport. That's what I'd say now.
That's some pretty inspirational words.
And we had a really nice talk with Mate also the other day, and during the Enduro race, he taught us so much. I like when he said, "There's no shortcut for you to, if you want to be like those people the goal we want. There's no shortcut, but we have to work. We'll have to do it.
Yeah, but
we can't skip anything."
I also came across a some person saying that I forgot, was he some gold medalist and something. He also said that he regretted at one point, like he should have started earlier, or why didn't I do more research and all that stuff. But he also said that there's no right age to start anything, you know. You may be slightly late in the sport, or you knew about the sport a little later, but I think that doesn't really matter now. But thing is, how much effort, or how much effort are you willing, or how much talent, of what talent you have, how much you're willing to push it to get better. So I think in sports, I would say right now I still find myself and count myself as young, so it's good. I know, yeah, I had a little regret earlier, but now it's good. As in, I've seen other people doing it, so it gives me the motivation as well to compete competitively.
So one thing I was thinking about for the past few days before we decided to meet for this podcast was that the interesting thing is, like, the national champions or the top riders in India, the difference between the rest of the world and the rest of Asia is huge, and I feel like that's for a lot of sports in India. You may be the winner in the country, but the difference between the rest of the world is like pretty massive, I would say.
Yeah. True.
And that brings us to the idea that trying to go pro in India probably takes a lot more effort than anywhere else, or at least feels like that to a lot of people to go pro. But at the end of the day, all of you are just people.
Yeah.
And if I believe if some European guy can go pro, so you guys can too.
In the sport, if you want to go really pro, you have to really work on our skills, and we have to take risks, I would say. It's not, you just have to build stamina, strength, and then that's how you think. But then we had to take risks to do anything also, to grow.
One thing I would say is exposure, comparing like sports in India and outside. Whereas in Europe, they have really involved in downhill and enduro. So they're dominating the game. So the same track a world champion is riding, what do you call a beginner or amateur, is also riding the same track. So maybe you bump into someone pro as well almost every weekend. So what I'm trying to say is, to go professional here is, see, suppose now we are the top two for last year's, we got the top two spot for last year's nationals. That doesn't mean we can compete the same as other, say for France, European national champion. The gap is way too big, because we're just competing against locals who also ride the same trail, but we don't have someone to look forward to, as in the country right now, who's faster than us. There is some people, I mean, different mountain, different trail calls for different person, but the exposure here is much, I would say, smaller. In fact, Asia is, but like you are comparing it to France. The world right now is being dominated by French people in downhill or enduro. So they have much more, it's much easier for like a non-pro to be faster than us as well, because the trails and whatever, just even though if it's just like a weekend thing, the trails are much more evolved and much more technical, I would say. Because here we are riding mostly, back at home at least, we're riding just trekking trails, I would say, just natural single track we call it. And on that we just add little features and some corrections. But the dominant line is it started from, we were like, the one we use are just walking trails. So for them, they have proper bike parks to learn and skate parks to develop their skills, pump tracks. So going pro here, it's really difficult, because it's very hard to compete to a guy who's already done that when they're like 10 years old. So going pro is very difficult right now in India, and opportunity it's lacking, but I would say it's also developing. So main thing about this sport is we just need exposure, I would say. Yeah.
So yeah, you talked about exposure. Okay. That's like one of the main things. You need a lot of race experience outside of the country, in the country.
Yeah.
You probably need But I'm guessing for exposure within the country, you need a lot of people also trying to compete. Like the more people that are competing with the sport, the more cutthroat it becomes, right?
Yeah.
So besides that, like, do you think like is there any other sort of support that you require? I know to get an Olympic gold medal, on average the cost is very high for training. Like it's almost as if you want to get an Olympic gold medal, you have to be either sponsored by like a big company or you have to be rich to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing for mountain biking too, it's a pretty cost-heavy sport.
Really.
Well, like I said, until 2021, when I started, I was on a borrowed bike van. See, there was no support from family, but my friend was really supportive. He would lend me his bike almost every day. So what I'm trying to get is mountain bikes in general, it's quite expensive. It ranges from a good mountain bike, maybe starting will be 50,000, which parents, if you're not earning yourself, which parents don't give out easily because they feel like it's a waste. It's just another bicycle to them. It only makes sense to people who are doing it, but it doesn't make sense to people who are just common people. It doesn't make sense to them like spending 50,000 or what are you gonna do with that? I can get a used scooter or whatever. But the thing is, it's really expensive, I would say. And since all parts to bikes are not manufactured in India, so we have to pay tax, custom duties, and all that stuff. So generally, if it's 50,000, it'll go. When you import it, it's gonna go to 60, 70. So I would say it's quite expensive sport.
So how much does your current bike cost?
Mine's at 3. Exact MRP is 3,18,000, which is again with tax. It's supposed to be around 290.
Okay.
So manufacturers, if you get it from Europe or other Asian countries, it's 3,200 USD, which is around 2,90,000, I suppose. So when it comes to India, it's 3,18,000.
What about you?
Almost same range, yeah.
Same range price. Nice. And so you think the culture or the setup in India makes it harder for parents to be convinced? It's already hard enough for parents to be convinced to let you go into cricket and commit to a sport. Mountain biking must be insanely difficult.
Yeah,
it's not easy at all because when you think about cricket, you think about football, all they do is they just need boots and then some gears and then on them.
Yeah, to begin with,
I would compare,
it's minimal cost.
I'm jealous about the sport. It's football. They can just go and play in the turf or something. Just go home, take a bath, just watch something to shoot. Us, when we reach home, we'll have to wash from head to toe because we're all covered with mud. We'll have to maintain our bikes, wash our bikes every day, wash ourselves, wash our shoes, dry the shoes because we only have one pair of shoe for cycling. Because we don't use these normal shoes. We have a specific shoe for cycling. We'll have to wash that shoe every day and then keep on heat or something just to dry, just to get to ride tomorrow. And
maybe that happens a lot to us because it rains like cats and dogs in Shillong.
Yeah, because also I honestly don't wash my clothes, so I used to give to my worker. They're like, oh, what happened to you? Every day you're giving me this kind of condition of clothes. So even if I put my clothes in the washing machine only will get spoiled.
Yes, there's so much dirt in our body. Like
there's soil, there's sand, there's rocks, there's everything.
So talking about the rains, like I guess it gets really muddy and rainy in Shillong. It's like you have Cherrapunji there, the whitest place on the planet, right? So in Meghalaya in general, like what is the terrain like? Like how is it like to ride your bike there? And I'm guessing for nationals and for other competitions you traveled all over India.
Yeah.
So what's like the...
See, people, I've got this feedback at least from one person who's been to Europe and back. He said it feels like Madeira. I didn't even know where Madeira was. So I was like, yeah, I only know it's in Europe. So yeah, they say we have pine trees and very loamy soil, which is perfect for mountain biking. Like, there's perfect grip, and if it rains also it doesn't really matter. Just some parts do, but it's really loamy, which is very, like, I would say again, like very grippy, and you can go really fast. but it rains like shit, like I said. So if we want to go out riding, see, we don't mind getting wet when we're on the track or on the trail or halfway there. But
we don't want.
yeah, like we
Before
always
moving
say,
out.
like we don't want to go out instantly, like move out of the gate and get drenched. That is shit. But if you're like, we love riding in rain actually, like, but then we don't want to get wet as soon as we come out of the house. But yeah, we always get rain most of the time.
But I think before I think we just started, I don't think we care a lot about that. We don't even care. Rain or no rain, now we'll move over. It's like, hey, it's time to move. Let's go. Rain, no rain, let's go. We don't care.
We just put on.
The thing is, main thing for us right now, because our bikes, the way how it works to get to, to wash every day also, we have to really maintain, you have to grease, because every time you wash, everything gets dry, bearings or anything, so it's hard to maintain. So, but before we had this simple bike, so we don't care at all. So let's just go for it, no problem.
Yeah, we own a bunch. We used to own a hardtail, so there's not much. It's just a single suspension on the front.
At all.
Rear is just bare frame, so it's less maintenance. But right now we are riding a full suspension, so there's a lot of bearings and suspension and all that stuff. So to maintain them, it's expensive. So we're keeping that in mind. So we don't want to ride it in rain, because rain washes the grease off, which means you have to service often. So we try to ride mostly in dry, or at least when it's not raining.
But yeah, I don't mind riding in rain also. I think that's for the sport. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's one more case that we don't have any shortcut. We have to ride, and then we'll have to clean the bike. We'll have to maintain the bike. But what to do?
It's just that. Yeah, it's just that back in your head saying maintenance.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll take it easy today. Less maintenance.
But we do ride actually. We still do ride in rain.
Yeah, because I'll have to fix my own bike, and then he also will call me.
Yeah.
Hello, hey.
He's like my personal mechanic.
I was like, hey, I'm trying to do something on myself, so I'll do it. If I need anything, I was like, okay, sure, you do it. After I was like, hey, he video called me doing this, doing that. I was like, hey, later I was like, hey, I broke something. I think I messed up something. Can you please come to my place and help me? I was like, okay, fine.
So last time what happened was I opened the derailleur, the thing which moves, like we have multiple gears.
Change the gears.
Yeah, it moves. You can change gear with that. I opened it perfectly, but after cleaning and all that, I got kind of confused how to put it back in. So I was like, hey, can you just come and get it, or just fix it in my place? But yeah, he does service my bikes as well. It's either him or Ismamul. So there's two people I give for, but mostly him.
So besides the rain, like I'm guessing when it's sunny in Shillong,
We have 4 seasons in a day.
4 seasons in a day.
Yeah, we might you'll experience maybe rain. I mean sun in the morning, afternoon maybe rain, foggy, and then later in the evening maybe I'll have a little bit of sunset, then done.
So if anyone wants to experience all 4 seasons in a short time,
Yeah, they can
Come to Shillong. Come to Shillong.
But I feel like we're blessed. That's how we grow. I think I wouldn't say all the Shillong from Northeast are riders from there. They're all good, because I think we're blessed because we get to experience rain, dry trail, wet trails, and then slippery trails. We get to experience everything, but there's some places which others they don't experience. But then I think we experience a lot. We learn how to ride in rain.
See, the same track we ride, with the change in the season, or like rain or sun, whatever, the terrain changes. So it's it's really good for us to practice in that. So sometimes if it's sunny, it's different thing. We can go a little bit faster maybe. If it's a little rainy, then it gets a little technical. Then it's challenging to us, which helps build our skills. So I think that we are blessed.
Yeah, I think there's one rider also. He came to our place also. He came right. He's also a rider, but the moment he came, because he came during the rainy season, so when he reached the steep part, he was like, he's not even able to ride.
Yeah, because it's slippery at the same time. Right where you fell.
Yeah. The track actually felt slippery. I could feel the tire not gripping.
It's actually good in riding, but he was like, what are you all doing? How do you ride this?
How do you go down that section?
That time,
a lot of algae and stuff there.
Yeah. That time I realized, look, we learned. Look what others, their surprise.
We have two different terrain back home. One is the more which is loamy and like what I'm talking about, pine trees and all that stuff. We also have other side of the mountain, like other side of the valley, which is a little bit more rocky. That's where it's like 5-10 minutes from our place. It's called Mauro. So that place is just rocky and completely different terrain to what I'm talking to what I was talking about, like loamy and stuff. So I think we have almost everything, like in terms of terrain, but we just need facility, maybe like a pump track. Pump track is really helpful, man.
Yeah, I wish
So
that
yeah, that's what
tracks.
we're lacking, and also we're trying to build some jumps back home and revive some jumps again.
Pump
Yeah.
track is really helpful. Like you've tried a pump track, or you just
Yeah.
know it's helpful.
Yeah, I mean, first time we were here, we rode together in Noida. It was, I mean, at first we didn't get it, but as we keep riding it, and especially we tried it in a BMX, which is smaller bike. Then when we moved on to a dirt jumper, which is a form of a smaller mountain bike, it felt good. And also it helps our body structure and pumping skills. Since we say instead of pedaling, we do need to pedal, but instead of pedaling some section, if you can pump through, use your whole body and weight to squash
And
the
that
bike.
takes
Yeah, it's much more efficient and you go more faster. So you're conserving energy and also going faster. So in that way, it helps us build the basic structure, which is
Which
really
is very
helpful.
basic
Yeah.
for any mountain biker, but no one realized that.
Mm.
No one knows about that.
So when you practice at the pump track in Noida,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys practice like only a few times,
Yeah.
but did it like make a difference in your riding?
See, it's the reverse. It should be pump track to trail, but we're coming over the opposite way, like from trails to pump track. We have the basics, but to use it on like multiple roles, it was kind of challenging. But as we felt more comfortable on the bike, I think we got much flow, and like I said, it's really helpful, man. It helps us build that basic structure. Like I said, instead of pedaling, I would prefer pumping in some, like if there's multiple rollers.
Yeah, but depends also how you pump, because in a pump track, so if you make mistake also where you shouldn't pump, I think instead of going fast, you
Yeah.
go slow. So that's what you learn in the track also. You have to be very precise where you pump.
Mm.
You can't just pump somewhere if it's uphill. If you pump, obviously it'll rebound back. It'll slow you down.
Mm. Like this, yeah,
So-
like key points, like where, see, it goes reverse as well. Like he said, if you pump in the wrong place, you're gonna lose all your energy, and it's not very
You lose
efficient.
momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to catch those momentum and get a boost, that's a very basic thing which pump track helped us with, I think.
It's not only about pedaling, but then pumps helps you to go faster.
So I know this is a dangerous sport. Like all gravity sports are dangerous sports.
Yeah, sort of.
And I know some stories you talked about before, but like injury-wise, I know Aaron suffered quite a injury this time
Worst
at
injury.
Monduro in
Worst
Tawang.
doesn't look bad, dangerous, but it was the worst injury for me. Like I thought it was dead that time. Like I'll be dead because I was around because that was the first stage. So that was around 14,000 feet above.
Yeah, 14 plus. It's 4,000.
I don't know
3,000.
about, because I felt normal about breathing, but the moment I hit that rock on my ribs, I felt like, where's the oxygen coming from? I tried breathing, and we tried to contact Dr. Magu, or any marshals. They were like, the ambulance is somewhere around at 3,000, 4,000. They're like, it's really down. So I was like, what can I do right now? I just have to stay and then fight for myself. I have to breathe. So I lie down all, and I couldn't even walk. Normally I have to walk backwards. I don't know for what reason. There's something so, but then I'm totally fine now.
So what was the
Okay.
crash? Like how did you crash?
There was, I did go the same speed there, like how I did with the first time, second time there. But then when Mali, he went first, I think. I don't know, yeah. But then we never know. They should always be ready and something. But then that was very unfortunate because there was a small rock. I didn't know about that happened also. And I saw my own POV, so I checked what actually happened there. So there was a very small rock in the turn. So my front tire got on top of that rock and then just roll over that rock and slipped. And then I couldn't support myself before I touched the ground. So I directly hit on the rock without any support. So there was a
wearing a guard also, right?
Yeah, I was on top of guard. If I didn't wear my guard, I think I would have break all these ribs and then internal injuries. I think would have been serious, really serious.
For those of you who are wondering, we took a short break in the middle, but we probably cut it in such a way you wouldn't realize. Let's get back to where we were. Even Zaza's awake now.
Alright.
So we were talking about your injuries, right? So what was the craziest story or craziest injury you've had?
I don't know, should I tell it in front here? I don't know if my parents will see it.
It'll be fun.
But I've never told my parents about, whatever happens in the bike or in the mountains. I think craziest one was back at home. I was following one guy. So there's this new fresh trail which I've made. So it had a right turn and a left turn and a right turn. So we were coming in hot, so I was following him. We took the first right turn, then it's a left, then it's slightly, straight, then left. So when I was in that second bank, and we are very close to stakes and small trees or whatever, I clipped my pedal on the right side, so my right foot is this way. So maybe I hit something, and I went over the bar. The bike stayed, the bike was behind me and it threw me in front. I went where I landed was, I say I'm still lucky till this day. There was a stump, half stump, roughly cut. It was pointing this way. So if I had missed it by 5 centimeter, it would have gone straight here. But lucky it went, I landed on the side of it. So it just went I got a hit in the stump this way. But it's still I was out of breath and my friend had taken off and it started to drizzle. Worst case scenario, I just sat there even though it's not sharp, but I still got some cuts here, right in my throat. I somehow picked up myself, went down. Then when I reached home, when I checked on myself, everything looks fine from outside. But then I was not satisfied. So I went to ENT by myself, ENT doctor. So he said, it's fine, nothing serious. It's just that the impact was there and you're feeling it. So he gave me some medicine and it went away. But that was my worst, I would say. If I had just missed it by 5 centimeter more, this would have gone through, the stump would have gone through my neck, I suppose. But yeah, very lucky though, it hit here. But I would say that's my worst case. This will not happen to anyone, I guess. But just that day I was very lucky but I'm glad that I'm standing here right now. Yeah.
If we talk about that, about the tree something pointing, I don't know if you still remember the POV we had in Motinagar. We call it the final destination tree.
Yeah, so the tree goes they have half. I don't know, it was cut or broken.
Actually it's on top. It's broken.
Yeah.
But then we've not been there for a long time, so we usually climb up the trail and then come down. I think that day we climb up from the other side and then we come down. So we don't know what's wrong with the trail. We don't know how is the trail, how is the track. Is it still okay? Is it slippery? What's there upcoming? We don't know. So we rode that track, and then I don't know. Those days we don't have protection at all. We are using those cheap helmets, motorbikes helmets, cheap one, and then we don't have chest guard, nothing at all. So we call it this final destination tree. So it was just pointing. It was pointing us facing this on a turn. I don't know. how did I manage? But the tree just went like this. I saw that tree. I avoid, just went through from here. Imagine was pointing here, direct a tree like a broken tree. It's pointing at me. I think that video is still there in my Instagram account.
Yeah, I was in front.
Yeah, he was in front. I was following him. I don't know how did he got through because I didn't see that because I just was focused on that tree. I don't know how.
Well,
I
you're
got
coming
that.
in that section, like you're coming so fast, and there's a slight left, then again like a slight left, harder left. So you go a little left, and there's like harder left. So he missed it. I'm glad.
No, I didn't know
but
that.
It was like really scary tree. Like it's just pointing at you this way. If you go a little bit off towards right side, you're gonna get hit for sure.
Yeah, but I didn't expect that to be that close to, and that turn. I think it just went like,
Yeah.
just like this.
But in comparison, see, like in road race, we were just talking about with Adil. So they go in like patches, like in groups when they're racing, like maybe 5 or 6. Like the fast ones are in front, so they go like he was saying like 55 or 60 kilometer per hour. And if someone falls from that group, if who's leading the pack,
Yeah.
they just go pile up on top of each other. So he said he got some 76 stitches or something he was saying in his right knee, near his right knee. So I would say different sport, but I think
Different kind of.
yeah, like risk is still involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what like he said, it's just about dodging it.
Yeah, going fast always comes with the risk of injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what sport, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But the faster you go, sometimes also it's not like scary. It's even more fun if
Yeah,
if
I
it's
think
like,
that's
it's
the
getting faster. I was like, okay.
adrenaline rush.
Yeah, you just keep on going fast. We know that we're going fast, but then we just want to go fast more and more faster as much as we can.
This happens to us often when we see someone going fast. We're like, oh, how is he sending it? But when we're on the bike, we're also going the same speed.
Yeah, we don't know because we're on the bike. We're so
Yeah.
focused. We don't know that we're going the same thing. Sometimes we're going even more. We're going even more crazy.
Yeah.
But then that's how when I started mountain biking also, I saw who started before us, the way they ride the bikes that time. I was like,
Yeah.
how did they even do this? How they were able to do this?
Like how they're managing
how
to carry so much speed in turns.
They're going so
Yeah.
fast. From where did they learn all this? Later, I realized it just happened.
Yeah,
Same
we just
thing.
keep riding
And now we're
came
riding with
naturally.
them, and then we're competing amongst us and with those people who I used to think like, how did they even do this? And
Yeah, it's because they were at higher level when we just started. So like any other sport, when you just get in the sport and you see someone like good at it, you're like blown away. Like, how can you be that good someday? And now I think we're happy to compete. Like who used to think like be faster,
but
who was going really fast.
I thank each and every of them like who taught me to think to be like them. And yeah, we're at the same pace now, so feels nice.
Yeah, but yeah, like crashes do happen every now and then, but it's part of the game, I would say. If you're not crashing, that means you're not going fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some crashes can be avoided, and I would always recommend now that you wear your proper kit. If you're going, like if you're pushing yourself, then wear a proper full face helmet, chest guard, knee pads, and elbow pads if you'd like, and a proper shoe. I've seen people riding with we started with riding like wax shoes, but it's good to have proper shoes. It's one thing I've noticed is I kicked a rock earlier in one of the races, but there was a steel in front of the shoe, so it saved my toe, like my small toe. Like I kicked a rock, but the shoes come with protections, so nothing happened to my toe. It's still safe, but it took the impact. So yeah, proper gear and proper equipment is mandatory, I would say.
It is very important to know that a helmet, yes, no matter how expensive it is better for it's better for protection, because even though it's a helmet, I know it's a helmet, but then there's some cases like I know people, they crash, the helmet broke and then they have some injuries in the head. So, yeah, why not take care of yourself, and then it's better you spend more on safety.
So get a good quality.
Get a good quality instead of risking it all by,
They say helmet is, if you look at it, you can't even see the difference. Thing is, a good quality helmet will, protect your head. Even it comes with some technology, I'd say, and some standards. So
even
gears,
us, we started
equipment
like
is
that
really
only.
important,
It's not like we started like directly on a very good helmet, like expensive helmet. We don't use, even till now, so we don't use like that expensive helmet, but then it's the quality. We check the quality, not the price. If it's come with a good quality, then why not? Because even I used cheap helmet before and now it's broken, but then lucky I didn't break it. It just broke by falling. So
yeah, but safety first, I'd say.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the medical bills would be much more expensive otherwise.
True, and also your long term if you want to do this sport longer. So
forget
go
about
for
medical.
long-term,
Think about yourself. Will you even able to ride again, ever again?
Yeah. Long term goals.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, let's shift the tone from this from getting injured all the time to something like a bit more fun, I guess.
Yeah.
So one thing I know is all these mountain sports events and like mountain biking. At the end of all these events, there's some crazy parties that people throw.
Oh.
I think the most infamous or famous, the one you would call, is Monduro.
Yeah.
Like at the end of Monduro, which is like a tawang.
I think the people who came early, like us, we all came, or we all went there. I think we had party before the race and after the race. I think.
It was a pre-game and after game.
I've never experienced that in my life, racing my life, because we always have a party after the race. But this time, last year's Monduro, we had before the race and after the race, which is the starting was really crazy. The starting was crazy, more crazy.
Yeah, comparing to the after party, I think what we experienced before the event started was crazier, man. Like we haven't even entered.
We haven't even entered.
So we got invited to a wedding, right? So we haven't even entered the guy's gate. We haven't even seen him. There's people greeting us with alcohol. So much alcohol, and you have to take 3 sips.
Yeah, tradition there, right?
Tradition.
Not 3 sips, 3 shots.
3 shots, sorry.
3 shots, but still I didn't get 3 shots, bro. I got more than that.
I got 6 shots, and I kind of like threw up the last 2, I think.
You came in and they're like immediately 6 shots.
They were carrying around whiskey, imported whiskeys. Then they also have their traditional ara, which is like, I don't like the taste. And they give you 3 shots of that. Usually it's a smaller shot in a smaller bowl, I would say, like small bowl, the traditional one. But that day they were serving in the big one because it's a, it's an occasion. It's a wedding. So they were giving us in the big bowl, sort of. And everyone, I think 2 hours after that, everyone got really messed up.
Okay, I would tell you honestly here what I was there doing in the party. I cheated, so I didn't want to drink at all. The moment I had those sips, I didn't drink. I didn't want, because what was, I don't know what going on, but then every time we were the whole day there, we need to have a glass of drink the whole time. The moment we reach, the whole time we spend there until you get out, we need something to drink.
Your hands can't go empty.
Yeah, you have to drink. What I did, I took apple juice, real, and pour, and they were sitting like that the whole time, acting to drink the appy, and then no one realized that. I think just before moving out, they realized we just cheated. They just realized that I was drinking appy the whole time. It's like real juice, the apple, so the color is like thick. So even after that, what I did, so instead of choosing alcohol, I took the Zimzin instead, the peach wine. I took that. I was like a whiskey, because everyone says it's not good focus anymore. Yeah, I'm drinking. It's like, okay.
It's fun, man. Like any random people, like you don't even know the person. They just come and give you drinks, and they hold your hand. Like one guy on the left, one guy on the right, and one guy just opens your mouth and.
Bro, and then even those things also, they have the thing, they can control, like to pour, it'll come out like in a very small sip, very small thing. Even that thing was out. They pull out that thing, and then I was like, I was like, okay, it's fine. How much can they pour?
Yeah.
They can just this. But then I didn't know that thing's not there anymore. The moment I opened my mouth, I felt that thing.
The worst part is me and Nirav. We were just talking to each other like, there's no alcohol before event, man. Like, you just keep it for the after party. And like as soon as we just said that and got out of the car, and you guys are here. Why you guys late? And he pulled us. Like, yeah.
And returning back home.
Crazy
was
hangover,
crazy,
man. Crazy hangover.
Crazy. That day when we were going home, I had a crazy night going home.
Yeah, but
Nirav was driving. Oh, everyone was scared, man.
Yeah, but it's always a good time in
Yeah, we
Mondiro.
always
It's
have
in
a good
Tawang.
time.
But
We had fun.
best after parties they throw, I think.
I remember the after party. Like we drank till like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And then
Next day.
at 7 a.m. in the morning, like, hey, it's time to go.
I was.
And it was like a 12-hour, 15-hour ride after that down the mountains. All of us are still drunk, not even hungover.
I think you all had a party, like a proper party after the race. I had, I think, before and after the race. I didn't even get to race, but then I feel like, no.
Aaron was basically drunk the entire time. There was no racing.
No racing at all.
Yeah, but some good old fun there.
Yeah, I heard about somebody's head in the Nala from
Oh yeah, that was in second edition. That was crazy, man. I think that was his first
First
trip.
edition.
Yeah, first trip to Tawang. Yeah, and after party there was this guy from Hyderabad. Man, he went crazy, dude. He was chugging alcohol like so much. By the end of the day, middle of the party, maybe midnight, I think. Everyone just he got the attention of the whole crowd. His head was stuck in his head was in the Nala, his body was outside.
Welcome back from another sudden break. And Zaza is much more active.
She's awake.
Yeah, she's awake. She's like,
She did some warm-ups just now.
yeah, she liked your drunk story. She's like, where's the alcohol? Wants to get buzzed. Wait, no. No.
Play mode.
She's feisty. Okay. Wait.
Her hair looks fake, man. Hey. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you were saying like Tawang gets crazy, yeah? The guy's head in the Nala.
Someone's in Nala, someone's walking here, drunk. Someone's shouting, someone's sleeping. Yeah.
And after next day, tries to puke, but can't.
Yeah, these guys, we went to higher altitude
Yeah.
to the China border, India-China border. So they were trying to force themselves to puke on the way. That year, I was safe.
You were trying to like forcefully puke, like with your
Yeah,
fingers.
that was my first and the last. I think that's why even this last year I was like.
And I think that was first
I
time
don't
we
experience
experienced snow as well.
Yeah.
But it was not a soft one, it's just a hard one.
Hard ice.
Yeah, so I started throwing at them.
Get
Ice.
them injured before the race.
No, that's after.
You're not even.
After that.
He's not throwing snow. He's throwing ice cubes like this. He's like.
Went crazy. Okay.
And then like other races, like I know other places don't really have those after party things, like smaller races, 1 or 2 days, right?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there must be some insane journeys. Because traveling in the northeast is like almost like.
I'm surprised to hear from Alex because he said they never had the experience they have like in Mondiro, like a get together someone and then with all the riders and then enjoy to sit around.
Yeah. What happens is outside in European races is you're concentrating on your own team only. You never get to mingle like nice, maybe dinner,
Not at all.
lunch. That happens very rarely. It happens only after or before. But during event, that doesn't happen. But Mondiro brings together, brings all that together. You're staying in the same hotel, you're eating in the same place. So that connection, it builds up among riders and among everyone who is involved there. So it's it gives more, like, you can get more information from other athletes and all that stuff. So more connection, I would say.
Or more socializing in Indian
Yeah.
races.
Yeah, I never thought I thought, oh, this sport. If you want to enjoy, if you want to think, I think.
I also
I love
think-
this sport. Like, oh, this is really nice. You're meeting a lot of people. That's what I've always been telling. I was like, oh, I love the sport because it's not only about racing. You meet people, you get to socialize, and then you get to socialize. But then, I don't know. In their case, it's different. They said they love, and that it's the first time for them.
Yeah, it's a different experience altogether. Yeah.
And I was like, what?
This is normal for us because every race we go to, we stay in the same hotel and all that.
From my first ever
Yeah.
race in my life, it's always been like this.
Yeah.
So
It's not new to us, but it's a surprise to see them like, this
Yeah.
is like, this is something nice.
because even me, if I go racing with them in their place or something, I'll be shocked. What happened with everyone?
Yeah, everyone's so focused, like so
Yeah.
competitive. I mean,
Right.
we still are when we're in that same building per se, but like like when we are having in the same place, like dinner, lunch. I mean, you're seeing them every now and then, so it's
Because
good
I'm-
socializing, I think.
Because if it was me in that case, because I'm that type of person, I'd be like, hey, what's wrong, man? Hey, why are you so focused? Why are you tense? What happened to you?
Are you not
Like
happy?
that. Every race, like if I see anyone before the race, I think even nationals also, I won't disturb everyone. Whoever's sitting there, sitting in the corner, that's just before the race, just before the drop down, because the race started, you have to wait in the line. Everyone's like concentrating, focus, I don't know, they're tense or something. I'm like, hey, what happened, man? We'll race now, it's time to race now.
It's Aaron's secret tactic, huh? Like,
Huh?
distract everyone and then win the race.
Yeah, I think it's just a different concentration he has. Even I don't like to be sitting quietly, but just socialize. But some don't like that. I think just wants to their own space before the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about the races here in India, like that Indian hospitality comes through. Although that's why European races don't really have that socializing kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
But here is like, come, we'll give you like 3 shots of alcohol the moment you walk in.
Yeah, I think after party thing, it's not a thing really outside. Like they just have the event and they have their own, like their own small parties, I'd say. But this is like, you have to come, you have to drink alcohol, you have to eat.
They force you to be
Yeah.
friends. Yeah, it's nice. It's like a warm atmosphere, competitive but also warm. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
I like what Montero's done. They're building this super competitive thing with like top level trails, but it's still like it doesn't feel like it's a foreign thing in India.
Yeah.
It's like a Indian version of the race.
Yeah.
Brings its own,
But the track last year was better, I feel. Like, like it's built, like, I don't know the way they make its thing, but then it's just those yak. That's the only thing, otherwise it's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
They're progressing every year.
Because
I'd
the
say.
previous years, after what I heard, the first edition is like it's really rough. I don't no, the second edition they said it's really rough because it rained after the first edition. But yeah, I feel now like they're getting even more. They're working out on the trails, so
Yeah, good effort, and it's good to see progress every year. I've been there since the first. The first one was wild, man. But it's good. It's a good progress, I'd
it's
say.
very physical.
Yeah.
You have to think physically, mentally. You have to be strong. Otherwise, if you're just thinking that it's hard, then no one can do it. If you fail mentally, it's a really everyone. I heard from the Nepal riders also. Like this, they said Mount Everest is one of the hardest race till now for them. So I'm surprised. Like
Top level race.
yeah.
So like, let's wrap things up.
Yeah.
Let's end it with a question that I plan on making tradition. Like, if it wasn't for mountain biking, what do you think you guys would be doing right now? Studying?
I mean, you are still studying.
Yeah, no, like out of if I'm not mountain biking, then what else? What can?
Maybe what other sports or something you
Oh,
could
so
play.
you're talking about-
Maybe sports or what you will be doing besides mountain biking.
Like, if mountain biking wasn't there in your life.
Yeah, imagine there's no
Okay.
cycle.
You never stumbled on a cycle.
I think I would be with some electronic device, and then I love to always do something to spoil things and then fix things, and then I love to collect things. Whatever's at home, I never throw. Then mom was like, "Can you throw this?" Like, no, don't throw. Just keep in the room. I keep on collecting things, but then I feel like all the things I collected till now, I make use of them somewhere. It will go somewhere. Maybe after 4-5 years or so, but then all those old things will go somewhere. And I love to.
It'll come to use one day.
Yeah, it'll come to use. Everything I collect, it'll come to use. But actually, I used to make these gadgets and all these very small gadgets. Although I don't study engineering or something, but then I don't know how I got to learn. But then I'm doing very small things.
I'm telling you, like one day this will all come to use. It's like tiny nuts and bolts. Like, oh, I remember 4 years ago I collected it. Now it's useful.
Ma, where's that dabba you kept?
I used to ask like, hey, Mamba, I asked you to keep that thing. Where's that thing now? They're like, it's there. It's there. I kept there. I've experienced many times this. They'll say, it's there. When I go and check, it's not there at all. I've been searching. When she goes and search my mom, it's like, here it is. It's like,
I think that's
typical mom thing. Like every time I'm searching something for in the fridge, I'm like, Mommy, where is it?
Yeah, it happened because last Christmas also, I was late for some event, Christmas thing. So I was searching for my muffler. He was like on the chair. Go check. So it's piled up with clothes and then sweatshirts and then everything. It's like, it's not there. I took out everything. I checked. It's like, it's not there. She just checked and she just took out the muffler. I was like, here it is. I was like, what? I checked. There's nothing. Crazy.
What about you, Titus, if it wasn't for
mountain biking? Yeah. I guess I'll be practicing law, I guess. This is very instant though. But before this also I did my management. So I started then and final year I decided that I should continue studying in order for me to mountain bike. So yeah, I think I'll be somewhere in the mainland, out from the northeast, working maybe.
as a lawyer?
No, as an accountant or management. Lawyer was just an optional thing for me because I studied law only, like to let my parents know that I'm studying. But my motive was my cycling, mountain biking. So they'll be happy, so they won't bother me much. See, if I'm studying and if I'm doing what I'm doing, if I'm achieving something in both, then it's a win-win for them and win-win for me, and it both adds up to me eventually. So yeah, I think I'll be out somewhere, maybe behind a desk accounting or thing. But I also had I'm very competitive in terms of sports from when I was younger. So if not for mountain biking, I think I'd be playing some sports, I'd say. I used to play football a lot, football and cricket, maybe one of those. Or I love mechanical as well. Yeah, so maybe building cars or something, project car. I also sold my project car for mountain bike. So all that, I think it kind of slipped away. Like I bought this one particular old car, like a used car. It's an old Baleno, 2003 model. So I had to sell that to get a mountain bike. So my dream, it's still a dream. That dream kind of like, I can put this maybe later on in life and I need this.
Sacrifice one thing for another.
He sacrificed that car for a mountain bike. But that time when he's trying to sell, I thought of buying that car. Yeah, I think asking my parents like, please, I want to do something. At least if I just get this car, I'll just keep it in the corner. Maybe I'll build it even after 10 years or so, it's fine. But then I'll keep this project car. But then later I was thinking, if I ask for the car, what will I get for myself? What will I achieve from there right now? I was like, it's just money will just go on that car, spending fuel, spending parts and everything, and get zero, like nothing at all. But I was thinking, I was like, if I get mountain bike, full suspension or something, better bike, at least I wouldn't races and then I'll get to earn from there. That's why I was like, okay, forget about the car, so no project car.
I like the mindset. You're like, if I get mountain bike, I'll win races.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna win the
yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't have a bike that time, like, a full suspension. So I sacrificed his car for mountain bike. Because if I bought his car, it would have been cheaper. Instead, the mountain bike was costlier than the car he sold. But I was
Yeah.
like, even if it's costly than his car,
My
but I was like, I will still get something from that.
my elder sister like she really didn't agree with me because it doesn't make sense. Like I said to some people, even my mom and dad somehow like okay base diya to base diya. But my elder sister was not really happy with it. Like, sacrificing for something which doesn't make sense, and it's not. She calls it hobby, but for me it's bigger. So she didn't find that balance. So but after later on, I think now she finally accepted why I sold it, why I did it, and all that stuff. But yeah, sold the car for a mountain bike.
No, I think if it's not a mountain bike, also I love motorsport, motocross. I love motocross. We used to share with my friend, only mountain biker,
Mm-hmm.
riding motocross. He used to give me his bike. So yeah, if not mountain biking, would have been motocross. But then since motocross also, it's a lot expensive than mountain biking, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously it's motorbike. And if not motorbike, also I would love racing cars, but everything's too expensive, so I didn't get a chance to.
I think I'm happy where I am.
Yeah, even I'm happy where I am right now.
Yeah.
But I still have a dream, at least once for me to do motocross, to be racing motocross, and then once like a car racing something, maybe a rally or anything. That will be later, but I'm happy where I am now. But then from what I achieve now or later, and settle, then later I can do all that when I'm old. Because I don't think you can do later and old, like, do mountain biking and all. Because car, I think it's more easy. At least you're just sitting, you don't have to do much. You can't do it later.
Less physical work, I'd
Less
say.
physical work,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's okay. I can do that later, it's fine.
Rest,
But
I would say.
I need to, I should get a chance.
Less risks involved as well if you have those high grade protection and all that. If you flip 2 times, doesn't matter, the car will take it. But if you hit a tree when you're old, it's hard to recover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain biking, more risk.
Yeah, more risks, I'd say.
Alright, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Like, thanks for joining me.
it's great to
And
be here.
Zaza, wherever she disappeared off to.
She's playing again on the phone.
Yeah,
She's
Yeah.
catching.
Zaza is very
she's
modern,
fishing.
yeah?
very modern.
Yeah, playing with
Gen Z.
games on the phone.
She was very smart too.
Alright, that was it for today's episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on Pop Snap and Zap, where we talk anything and everything about mountain sports.
Thank you for having us.
Alright.
Thank you for having us.
See you guys at Monduro again. Perhaps.
Perhaps.